Good weekend, all. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, your weekend edition for November 3rd, 2023. First announcement, I'm not going to be in front of the camera next week up until Friday, a week from today. So Monday through Thursday, I'm out. I'm not certain if I'm going to put out updates where I've done them before remotely. I won't be around, but I might do them. You're going to just have to look each night. If I'm not there, we'll put up a video that night that says I'm not there. Ideally, you'll see something else, but we'll see. All right. I get bored, as you know, and I like to bring things up, so I don't know what I'll do yet. But this is the only time I'm going away up and through January, so you'll have me the rest of the time through the holidays and so on. So where are we? All right. We've had central banks go into a formal pause around the world, not just the United States. We're seeing wobbling, finally, in jobs reports. 150,000 jobs is in 336,000. That was reduced into about the 290s. And we have lost in some of these big numbers about 100,000 jobs from when they first came out with revisions down. It's still good numbers, but they're not 300,000. They're not 250. They're 150. This is what you want to see. You want to see an economy that still can grow jobs, but not at the pace we were. And you want to see wage inflation ebb. I have a way to do that wage inflation tomorrow. Close the border. Heard what I just said. Find the people here, give them work permits, make them pay taxes. You're going to have a working force right now, and when we close the border, go back to quota system so you can control it. And do something, not this craziness of the Biden-Harris. I mean, she should be involved in that. Don't just leave Camilla out there. Let's drag her in. She was supposed to be in control of the border. She's done a wonderful job. Can you imagine her running this country? That's your horror. It's Halloween. Think of that. What a disaster that would be. She would just say how everybody hates her. So as you move through all this, you've got to understand where we're at. There's a transition taking place. First thing, and very important thing, we've gone through all these rate hikes, and now they're at a pause, maybe the end of them. Right now, there's about a 20% chance, if you look at the CME FedWatch page, of a rate hike by the end of the year. I know Larry Summers said don't close the book on it. Okay, Larry, we won't. But you'd have to get the inflation number going back up. And Larry, what's going to make it go back up? That's what I want to see. I look at energy prices. They're falling. I look at the cost of goods. They're not going up. Grains have stabilized in it. Wages. Wages bother me because the UAW and others, pilots, FedEx, UPS, they've all gotten these fabulous big contracts, and they've got to pass on prices in some manner, or the companies has to lose money eating that, and in some manner still being able to give to their shareholders fair returns and the like. That is the dilemma that the stock market faces right now. We've just come out of this huge break that we saw all of September, a volatile October, and all of a sudden a vertical market run to the upside. Am I surprised? No. Did I put out a report expecting that? Yes. Do you remember when I put it out at the beginning of September, my stock index report? Expect a big decline in September, extremely volatile October, and a rally then, trying to get into a year-end rally, but certainly November being a strong month because it's the strongest month of the year historically. And everything's fitting in with that, including, unfortunately, the war that we're seeing in the Mideast. And the war in the Mideast, Israel better figure out a way, because they could be like we were with Afghanistan, caught in a war that just hurts their economy, and you never end this war. That is the Hamas goal. To get Israel to fight a long, protracted war, lots of casualties. They're willing to lose. They go to a better place anyways. They're martyrs. They're going somewhere better. And the idea to turn world opinion against the United States and Israel, and in the end, get back from Israel the 6,000 prisoners for the 200 that they're holding. In the end, to get a way to get a nation maybe formed there. But of course, they'll never say that they'd allow Israel as a country and recognize them. If they would, that might change things. At the end of the day, nobody's going to be a winner, including Israel. No way they're going to be a winner. Everybody's a loser there, including the United States, just so you know. All right, so now that I've said that, I think a winner's going to end up being atomic energy down the road. I've said that to you, and I'm still saying it. Here's your first look at the weekly chart on it. A big outside week to the upside. What's an outside week? You took out the prior week's low and high. When we take a look, the swing line now has got that move. You had a pattern of lower highs, not completely. You've had a nothing pattern. You've been drifting sideways for a very long time. You can see that moving averages were above us, and just now, for the very first time in 3 weeks, you've gotten yourself back to the point now where you're over that number. All right, it's a favorable sign. Where's the resistance? Well, it's pretty clear to see. It's the combination of the 100-week average in green, the gray number, which is the 70-72, the 200-week average in the black line, the Bollinger Band. So you got all three of those coming together as your resistance. Okay. Momentum, no longer in the downslide, picking up. So I think you're at the early stages of this. And when I do these specials, I try to find markets that I think are early, and then I'll keep them up and we'll get a chart like I did with Dryden Foods, and you'll see in a moment. And I cover those things for you, and then I drop them, and I move on to other things. But I want to plant that seed. One of my favorite stocks is Microsoft. I think I have been saying that I really like it because I believe in their product, that everybody's got it, and I believe in their pricing power. That is super important. And they are just getting into the pricing power of this, and I think they got a monster on their hands. I think we're going to end up with this as a base area. It is attempting a breakout, but hasn't done it yet. You closed out of the Bollinger Band in the very top of the range. You got to do that 2 weeks in a row, make another high, close right at the top of the range. Then, until you take out this low, I prepare to say a bottom is formed. Right now, you're at a resistance point. It's promising looking, but you're at a resistance. Regional banks. Bill Gross, he made a call. He's putting his money in that. He said it, and looks pretty darn good at this point. He's right. Bill is now saying that the 2 10-year spread, by the way, which is 33 to 34 basis points inverted, is going to go this way, where the 10 goes over the 2, and that favors a lot of things in the economy, including these regional banks. I happen to be in his school of thought. We'll see if it holds up or not. But right now, and I reserve the right to change my mind, I'm in that school of thought as well. But I'm not seeing a reason to own. He's got something else that I don't see on this chart. You have a lower low, higher high. I see the end of a break. I don't see the beginning of a rally just yet. I need more than this. In MCHI, in China, we need to see their economy pick up for this to pick up. The daily chart looks better than the weekly. The weekly, if you rally, you're going to have resistance in the 44.50 area against this old high of 44.57 that you had. So that's what I would expect that we get. We'll see if that turns out to be the case. In XLI, the industrial sector, well, you got down back here. This is where I think the market started telling you not to be short anymore. The combination of the 100-day average and the Bollinger Band. You did fall further. I didn't know that that was going to happen. Didn't bother me because you'd already been in a downtrend, and you're still in one. But you're starting to lose the downside momentum. In order for this market to be more than okay, it's got to get up here and take out this high that you see me pointing at right there. Without that, you have nothing. In energy, I have been pretty adamant, if you get my morning subscriber video, not my morning flash video I do here for YouTube, my subscriber video, and saying, folks, this energy isn't getting the bid it should out of the Israeli war. And what I've been telling my people, and I'll say it to you, you get a war event October 7th. You're now at November 3rd. You can't keep discounting the same thing and expect markets to keep going up on that. They're going to go back to their fundamentals. In the fundamentals of energy, if jobs are fading, the economy's fading to a degree as well. The demands are fading. Remember that. You get your wish of the jobs data coming down, unemployment going up by the Fed, but they've already got this. They have switched gears. The Jekyll and Hyde is now getting ready. Why? Because they got to start thinking, how do they not let it slip too much? So on their mind is that word. When do we have to start cutting these rates? Don't let the public know we're talking about it. Can't be in our minutes. But if this thing falls too much, we got to start the cushion. We got to have a lag time. Oh, there's that word lag time. That's what happens, all right? We're not there yet. Nobody knows. I really believe the Fed doesn't know, nobody knows. They've done an excellent job. The economy hasn't fallen apart. Unemployment is climbing. You are not at the SAHM rule. Do you know what that is? Well, if you're one of my subscribers, it's all explained for you in my research. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to make you go look it up. Go to Google, type in SAHM rule. Study it. But remember, it's 3-week moving average, not just 3 periods going up. I'll leave it at that for all of you, okay? Then we get to UUP. Be careful here. The dollar looks to me like a top is formed. I'll have more info and say yes when you lose the embedded reading, and it could happen as early as you start losing it Monday. This type of big break on the math of what happens with the slow stochastic weights it very heavy. And boom, I think you're going to lose it. And if so, then 2904 is in the cards here. In gold, all right, the gold market could go. Number one, inflation isn't going away. It's just not going to be as hot as it was. Number two, the economy's not going to crash. It's cooling off. That's not a bad thing. We're still adding jobs all the way through. Number three, Israel's situation isn't stopping. You've got that war event taking place. So it could keep this bid. I can understand gold staying strong. It is overbought. It is at a resistance point. But no, I'm not in the bear camp. In the miners, are they ready to join gold? Could be. Yet an outside week up, you closed over the 18-week average, and momentum's up. Until this week's low's taken out, until that's taken out, I think the buyers are now there. I think their first hurdle's 30.25, then they're looking for 31.82 to 32.25. Tesla fell right into what I teach, the combination of a Bollinger Band and a major moving average, the 200-week, supported the market. Will it be enough to keep it going? I wish I could tell you. I don't know. The trend is down. On rallies back up to 240, 250 to 247, I expect the sellers to show up in mass. Stops back over 258.94, looking for another move to the downside. But it is an oversold market ready for a bounce. That's how I view it. Uber's getting a lot of attention. People like the cost cutting. People like now, and I'm talking investors they like the fact that it's expanding businesses. It's really gotten itself into this delivery game, and they have other things on the table. I view it as a market now trading back and forth, trying to get up to the upper band, down to the lower band, and no real trend play at work in it, just sideways action. Now, I said Darden restaurants. Okay, and I said to you before, maybe this has just seen it. You know, the students paying back their loans, it is an impact, but what did I calculate with you? Was it $60 a month roughly on average? That's not going to change the eating habits of people. I think it worked out the worst of the economy, and here's what I'm thinking. You lost the bearish embedded reading finally. So coming up, I'll probably drop my coverage of it. And I'll probably move next gen here and put up something new when I get back from the 4 days off. By the way, when I'm going on the 4 days, I'm going to do my best to put out, I want to repeat, without me in them, you probably like that, a short recording like this, giving you what I see of the markets. I don't know if I'll be able to do them every night. After all, I want a little bit of time to myself to cool down, not read so much, and enjoy basically 3 nights away. That's all it is, and then I'm back. All right. Oh, and that's it. So in Google, higher high, lower and low, just sort of hanging, really going nowhere. It's been going nowhere for a fair amount of time, about a month now. It was butting up against the upper band. You had one spurt and then you let everything go. Market just isn't in love with it at this point in time. But I don't see a reason to be much of anything. I think ultimately it's caught in the sideways action. It still has AI going for it. It still has a lot of positives, little profit taking. Okay. So I want to remind you that what I do for you is in the mornings, starting at 5:10 in the morning, I start with the futures markets and I cover 40 futures charts. Now, what's the importance of that to you? Because your SPYs, your energies, your TLTs for the interest rates, it's all part and parcel. Then at 9 in the morning, I move to the ETFs and the stocks, and I do 40 charts on that. Technical analysis, we'll talk earnings, we'll talk major reports coming up, chart action, chart action, chart action, chart action. I am going to be wrong, I'm going to be right, but I think you'll get an idea. And let's assume you wanted to talk to somebody on a chart. You've got it. Let's assume you write me and you say, Ira, I'm a subscriber of yours. What do you think of so-and-so? I normally can get that done for you. And what I try to do is create a short video. Instead of me writing you a whole dissertation, I open up the chart, show you what I'm saying, send you the video. It's 30 seconds, a minute. You got your whole answer. Traders like it. I devote a certain part of my time every day, if people have it, to just doing that, and then I'm through with it and I'm on to my other work. Okay, and people have been good about it. No, if you write me about 50 charts and it's every day, I'm not going to be able to do it for you. I'm not your personal broker. But I am there for people that are paying me to do things you need done, and that's what I believe in, good service. Go to iraepstein.com. You can also click up here. It'll take you there under the word research. Take a look and join us. Folks, I think in this type of market with all this activity, you're going to like it. You have a good day. I'll talk to you all a week from today. I'll see you again. Take care.